The worst type of man you could ever date is a fashion motherfucker. Because why are you recognizing the Margiela tabbies from across the street? Why do you know the top, middle, and bottom notes of your friend's cologne? Why are you accessorizing with a dainty pearl necklace? Who's wearing the pants in this relationship? Because a few months ago, I decided that I'm going to download Hinge again. I'm going to go out for another first date because the girl's been a little bored. So I do this thing, I do the swiping, and I find this 6'5" tall man with excellent style. The type of guy who dresses like Jacob Elordi. Cardigans, Van Cleef necklaces, the David Yurman wide leg pants, vintage, but cool, but looks expensive. And he's taking the cute pictures with no face, but only that outfit. He seemed cool, he seemed hot, had a nice style. What's the worst that could happen? So I swipe on him, we match, we talk a little bit, and we decide to go out on the weekend. If you know anything about these fashion guys, you know they're taking you to the trendy spots that no one knows about. Only 5 other people only know about this place, and he's friends with the owner somehow. So he picks me up to go to this little wine bar that he knows a friend of that owns. Of course, right? And I'm wearing what I think is cute, okay? A little vintage red dress, an oversized leather jacket, and loafers. When he kicks me up, this man doesn't even say hello. He looks me up and down and goes, "Oh, you're really wearing that to the place I'm taking you to?" Excuse me. First off, what the fuck? Secondly, the audacity, okay? I should have really left, but I was so desperate. I was so desperate to, just have fun and be loved and find a boyfriend that I just let slide. I just laugh awkwardly. And we go to this wine spot. And I will admit, he was dressed to the nines. What else could I have expected, okay? Has the tabbies on, has the pearl necklace, all of it. And the wine bar is actually really cool. Small little place, in a basement. We're having a good time. We're chatting and talking. And then halfway through our first bottle of wine, he decides that he needs to sit right next to me. Right beside me so he can, hear me a little bit better. In my mind, I'm like, oh, this could be cute. This is a little, cheeky move he's playing on me. Girl, nah, okay? Because when he sits next to me, immediately his hand goes right up my thigh into my skirt. I'm wearing a short silk dress. That became dangerous territory. Immediately, I moved my thigh as I would. I moved to the side, and I just kind of give him a look. And he looks right back at me, and says, "What's wrong? Why are you being such a prude?" I'm honestly baffled, okay? I'm like, me? A prude? Why don't you learn how not to be a creepy little bitch? Okay, why do you think that was okay? And he continues to say to me that all you basic girls, the type of girls that dress like you do, are no fun. You guys are all the same. I shouldn't have wasted my time with you. I am stunned. I'm like, what the fuck? Me basic? Where the fuck do you shop? Okay, I see that you dress like every other fashion guy. You think you're any different with your vintage t-shirts and your wide leg pants? What the fuck is up with that? And started telling me that, oh, I shop at a place you wouldn't even know about. I don't even go in person. I thrift online. How would you know anything about fashion? And I just tell him, you pay for the bill. I'm not paying for any of this. If that's how you're gonna talk to me, okay? Get the fuck out. Obviously, we're not vibing here. Let's just leave. Cover it and let's go. To my surprise, he agrees. He starts waving for the waitress to come over. She hands him the bill. But this man did the worst thing possible, okay? He's opening his little Bottega bag, looking for his wallet, and he turns to me and says, "Hey, turns out I can't really cover this one. Do you mind paying for it? I'll get you next time." I could have just right there and then, because what the fuck? my life, right? Only in my life that this man could be like, right? And I turn to him and say to him, excuse me, I see your bag, I see your bracelet, I see your necklace and how you dress, and you just disrespected me the whole entire night. What makes you think I'm gonna cover your ass? This is when he decides to get all shy and less cocky and quiet, because he goes, oh, like, you don't know my life story. I don't have it like that. Like, I can't pay for this. I don't have the savings for it. But clearly you had savings for your Van Cleef necklace. Okay, and I tell him that, and he goes, well, like, I just thrift all my clothes off of, like, bins, like, you know, like, I really don't pay for much for this stuff. I got it, like, for a steal. Like, please, can you help me out? My patience was, like, this thin, so I said, fuck it. I paid for the bill. Walk outside. Never see that man again. As I'm getting to the Uber, all I can really think about is how him calling me a basic bitch was probably the worst hit out of the whole entire night. So I decide to take his advice off the thrifting app he uses, okay? It's called BINS. It's like bins you get at Goodwill, but that's the name of the app. And it's pretty much just like Tinder for thrifting. But as I'm looking at all the pieces, nothing is over like $60, okay? Like they had a Reformation dress that was like $25. It was like Tinder for thrifting on a budget. That was probably the best thing could have came out of this whole entire day.